Hi, I'm Ally.
I'm Nick.
And this is the But Have You Tried bookshelf from the David A. Howe Public Library.
Have you recovered from the week where we just cleaned the library?
I think actually no.
Oh my gosh.
I thought the answer was yes, but then like the last 3 days I've been like, what is going on with
so
my
sore.
knees?
Like
Oh my
it's like my
gosh.
shoulders and like my chest, I guess just from like lifting.
Yeah. Well, and it's like normally like I sit and my legs are like naturally bent and that's fine. But like the last couple days it's been like my knees are like, no, we need to be extended and like straight and stretching ourselves at all times.
I'm glad that you feel this way too, because I was definitely feeling like I thought maybe I had a little glimmer of youth left to me. And then after that week I was like, no. But you definitely have youthfulness, and if you feel that way too.
This, regardless of age, it was just a taxing, physically taxing experience.
Yes, it was.
But
man, we filled a whole dumpster.
Oh my
like
gosh! It was almost overflowing. I literally got in and stomped on stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Which was kind of fun.
I wish that the stuff was a little bit more like a random person walking in would be like, wow, because a lot of it was behind the scenes kind of stuff. But trust me,
my gosh,
was it ever necessary?
Huge difference.
And I will say, too, with the strenuous physical labor, it also was a lot of fun. I had a good time doing it. Like, I had some things that were supposed to happen that week, and I moved them so that I wouldn't miss cleanup time. So
dedication.
It was fun. But I am also glad that we're not doing it now.
Yeah, really glad. Really glad. Definitely by Friday, I was like, am I even physically capable of doing one more day of this?
No.
So I think it was good it ended when we did.
Yeah.
But we mostly got to everything we wanted,
we did, and
which I'm amazed by.
Yeah, shout out to the community, too, because I was expecting people to be upset that, we were going to be closed for a couple of days. But I think mostly people were like, yeah, way to go, like very supportive of all the videos
the
and everything. The
encouragement was very appreciated.
Yes, it really was. So thanks, gang.
Well, anyway, while you've been like, I don't know, holed up on the couch with like ice packs or whatever, what have you been reading?
Well, I have wholly committed myself to Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, which you pulled from the magic Darth Vader mug. And, well, I guess I can't tell you, but I started basically like that day because it's a big one, and I want to be finished by the time we record the episode.
I want to be finished too.
I am over the halfway hump.
Okay.
So I'm into it's set up in 8 books, and I am in, I don't know, the first 5 or so chapters of book 5.
Okay.
There's more behind me than ahead of me, and I feel good about that. But that also means that I basically have to maintain the pace at which I've been reading it for these past 2 weeks to finish it in time.
All right.
How about you, gal?
I have also been starting Anna Karenina. I have not made as much progress as you are. Primarily because I was trying to finish Oathbringer, which is also a tome of a book.
Well, like I said, I was in the middle of my Mark Twain book, and I just set it aside. I was like, I can't.
Probably should have, but I'd like reached like the exciting ending stuff. But the exciting ending stuff was still like 12 more hours of audiobook.
Yeah.
So, but I did start it. I am in book 2.
Yeah.
So I feel okay about my progress, especially given that now that I have finished Oathbringer, I will have a lot more time to be, and I have the audiobook, I have the physical book, I have it like a digital version.
Yeah. I was actually kind of surprised that I have as much of Anna Karenina left as I do, because I did reach this point where I was like, okay, it seems like everybody kind of, facts are in play for the major characters. And I'm like, how much longer can these people keep making baffling decisions for their personal lives?
Well,
but
even in book 2,
for about 15
I'm a little
more
bit
hours.
like, some of the things that have happened already, I'm like surprised that they've already
we're there.
happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is there going to be like 4 times as much of this, basically?
I don't know. I'm
concerned. Well, again, I have a lot of concerns.
I can't tell you how I feel about it.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't even be telling you about my concerns.
It's
but I mean, I think you could probably anticipate that I'd be concerned.
So that is what I'm doing. I don't think we ever talked about the fact that I read Heretics of Dune by Frank
I don't think
Herbert.
So.
I read this around Christmas, and I would say it's probably my least favorite of the Dune books.
You just keep going with those Dune
I know.
books.
My friend Sarah Jacoby Murphy and I, we've done a couple of How's Things episodes about the ones that we've done in the past. It's like, I don't know, we're locked into this now, so we got to get through
I admire it.
Chapter
It's
House,
like sooner or later I know that I will read like Dune.
Yeah.
But I don't really anticipate being like, now I'm going to read a bunch of other Dune books.
Not to be a nerd, but I do think you have to commit to Dune and Dune Messiah to get a full story.
All right.
And Messiah's little. It's the smallest of them. It's, 200 pages or something like that.
Okay.
But it does, it's it's pretty necessary to finish that thing. But I finished this relatively quickly. I think Sarah's still reading it because I'm, smarter than her. But we've really gone through this together. And I think Heretics at this point is so many thousands of years after the original Dune that it's like a spin-off of itself. And I was not as invested in the characters that I was presented with in Heretics. I'm going to read Chapter House, which is the last of the Frank Herbert books. I don't know if I will continue past that point. I've read a couple of the Brian Herbert, Kevin J. Anderson books that were sort of midquels to the existing books, and they wrote two that were meant to be. They wrote two that were meant to conclude like the last trilogy that Frank Herbert started and died before he could finish it. So the last two books are based on his notes, and sort of I feel like maybe at this point I should just finish those, but who knows? I don't know. I've already gone so much farther than
that's true.
Anybody
really
would have ever expected. So yeah, it's true.
Well, because I feel like when you were reading the first Dune, you were kind of like, nah, about it. I could be wrong, but that's my memory of the tone of the conversation. I don't think I've ever
rated one of these above a 3-star.
But you keep reading them, and that's what's fascinating.
It's a buddy read, Sarah and I are committed.
Right. I can respect that.
Just me, would I? I'm not sure.
But are you texting each other about them and being like, "Wow, this is terrible"? Like, is it kind of like a hate read together situation?
No, I don't think that it's a hate read. I've maintained that I think the story itself, the characters, the themes that are being explored are all very interesting. I just wish he was a better, more fluid writer.
Okay, I understand.
And that's why I sort of like the two that I read. I read Paul of Dune, maybe Sisterhood of Dune. I can't remember what the other one was called. But I did feel like the writing was a little bit more modern and approachable in those books. So that sort of makes me think, well, if I like the world and I like the characters, maybe it is worth reading some of these others.
I don't know.
But I read Heretics of Dune, everyone.
One of the things that I really feel like I can't tolerate in a book is like bad writing, like bad prose.
Yeah.
And like I know some people will be like, I love the story, like the writing isn't so good, especially with like big book sci-fi and fantasy for some reason.
You're not
gonna
like Dune. Let me just tell you that.
I don't anticipate liking Dune, but I probably will read it eventually regardless.
Yeah.
But people will be like, the story is so good, but like the writing just isn't, and I'm like, so what you're saying is the story is not good. So like I can't understand it. I'm like, I can't separate those things. I guess I just don't care enough about the like overarching stuff of a book to be able to enjoy that, even if the writing itself is subpar.
I feel a little bit like that about Harry Potter, but
you don't think the prose of Harry Potter is good? I haven't read them in so long. I don't even remember.
I think that I don't know. I guess I don't want to go down this road. But
I understand. Yep. Well, anyway, we'll just pretend we didn't talk about that. Are you reading anything else besides really big books?
I have read a lot of graphic novels in the time because I haven't wanted to switch to another, prose fiction kind of thing. So I have read a lot of graphic novels. I'm going to spare you most of them. But I will tell you that I was just talking to your husband, Caleb, over at the Box of Books library about DC's absolute titles. And I have read 4 of those so far, and I found them to be a mixed bag, and he and I did not agree on Superman. He liked it. I did not like it.
I feel like you're kind of picky about your Superman stuff.
I am. Thanks for noticing. I did like Wonder Woman quite a lot. Did you ever read that one?
I did read that one, and I did like it.
Yeah, that was pretty fun, and I would read more of that. I didn't really care for Green Lantern, and I didn't, I liked Flash quite a bit. I think Flash was my favorite. And out there, like in the world, that's not a popular opinion, I guess. So I don't know. I am anxious to read Martian Manhunter and Batman, I guess, is the other one that I haven't read.
I'm kind of curious about the Batman one as well.
I did order these for the collection.
Nice.
So we'll have these here. And I already had purchased some on Libby, which is a good reminder. Gang, if you want to request specific things on Libby, let us know.
Yeah.
It's helpful to me to know what people want specifically. Ebooks, audiobooks, graphic novels, manga, whatever.
This may be a shocking revelation, but we want to give you guys what you want.
That's true.
That's a top
that shouldn't be
among
shocking.
our desires.
It's concerning to me that you think that's shocking.
Well, I feel like for some people, they're like, people will like come up and request a book and they'll be like, I'm so sorry, but like, is there any chance that you could find room in your budget? And I'm like, absolutely, homeboy. Like, I'm going to order this right now. So
the only time I really flinch about that is when it's like it's book 4 in some trilogy or, in some series that I don't see us buying, like going back and buying. That's the only one where I'm kind of like,
Well, right. Well, obviously there's situations where it's like for some reason it might not work to buy it or there's some complicating factor. But just like the act of people requesting books, I'm like, absolutely request books. Like you're not bugging me at all. Yeah.
Definitely makes life easier.
We like that.
The only other thing, I have been listening on and off to Best of Me by David Sedaris. You know my love of David Sedaris.
Mm-hmm.
And this was one that it is mostly a best of, but there are, I want to say 4 or 5 essays that were exclusive to that collection. So I've been revisiting some of the ones that I like, and I'm anxiously awaiting getting to these ones that I haven't read, because I've basically read everything he's ever written, high school term papers, everything. So
I don't know if I've ever heard anyone say anything bad about David Sedaris' writing.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of a single instance.
He has one that's like animal fables, and I listen to it, and I like the things I like, but I would never reread that one.
Fair enough.
And some of those are in this collection, and I'm like, that's a skip for me, but
I understand.
no, I think you'd like it. I think you'd like it, but I do. Justine and I were talking about this because she's also a big Sedaris fan, but like, I do feel like you have to, even though they're nonfiction essays, you do kind of have to read them in order, because the later stuff, you really only lands if you are familiar with the interworkings of his family.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anywho.
I remember, we had like a group get together, and we all read like something funny that we found kind of thing. And someone read a Sedaris essay, or maybe part of one. And I did think it was funny and fun and cool. So it's been like loosely in the back of my mind that I should investigate that more. But
I think you'd be a fan. And I do recommend the audiobooks as read by him.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I love that.
So this was recommended to me at my very first library job, so long ago. One of the librarians was like, you seem like you would be a David Sedaris fan. And so I checked it out. And that was really early. He only had a couple of collections out at that point.
That sounds like you really passed some kind of vibe check there.
Yeah, I know. In hindsight, I do think that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that's cool.
Thanks. Kathy was her name.
Shout out to Kathy.
Yeah, wherever you are. What about you? What's besides Anna Karenina and Brandon Sanderson, anything on the docket?
I finished a few things, mostly before I started Anna Karenina and Brandon Sanderson. I read a book, Between Two Moons by Aisha Abdel Gawad. It's kind of like a coming-of-age story about twin sisters.
I know this book.
Yeah. And I mean, parts of it were kind of like hard to read. Like some of the topics are weighty, but I thought it was really interesting, well told, and just like the style of the writing, and like there's some elements that are like described in an almost surreal, like they're real things happening, but they're described in an almost surreal way, in a way that I thought was very well done and interesting. So I read that. I read Hannah Coulter by Wendell Berry. I've read a bunch of his poetry and some of his essays.
Right, yeah.
But I hadn't gotten around to reading any of his fiction. I tried in college to read Jayber Crow, but I just didn't have time. So I didn't end up actually doing it. And
That's what happened to me in Dune. I started Dune in college. It was like, ain't nobody got time. So.
No, college is not a great time to like invest in a big, like fun on the side read.
Yep.
But yeah, I read this and I enjoyed it. There were aspects of it that I found a little sad, but overall I felt like it was, I don't know, kind of hopeful and just an interesting look at life.
Yeah.
I also read The Last Devil to Die by Richard Osman, which is part of the Thursday Club series. And I think I only have one of those left.
That's
times.
Out.
I don't know if he's writing more, or if the last one is the last one. I'm hoping that's not.
Well, I feel like it's kind of resurged lately, and usually hard to resist that coin when it comes back around. So we'll see.
I think there's other.
Unless he's dead.
No, I don't think he's dead. Because I think he just released something like in the last few months.
Okay.
That's like not Thursday Murder Club, but that's like also
something else.
A mystery of that style. But I hope that doesn't mean that he's just like not going to write anymore. Thursday Murder Club.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know. We'll find out
what'll happen.
I'm also currently reading Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of looking for like a fun, for like when I need a little bit of a break from Anna Karenina, basically.
I was going to read one of those, and the one I picked up was like not the first book, and then I just never went back to.
I guess I didn't think there was any kind of order.
Maybe there's not, but like if you look on like Storygraph or something, it's like book 1, book 2, book 3.
Oh, I wonder if it's one because I know sometimes there's like a situation where it's like, oh, this character has their romance story, and then they're like sister
like
or
our
their
pal,
friend. Or
Dylan Newton, that's what her books are like.
Yeah.
Technically, they are connected, but you just.
I just kind of assumed that I could read whichever ones in whichever order,
well,
but I've heard so much about these.
Yeah,
and I was like, I should probably check one out.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Okay. The one I didn't tell you about, Green Arrow Volume 1 Reunion by Joshua Williamson in our collection. I love Green Arrow, and this was a really good starter. So it's not the best place for a new fan to grab, but I liked it. So,
What is for the record? What is the best place for a new fan to grab?
There's
the benefit
there's
of our
a
listeners.
good. I think it's just called Green Arrow Year One is a pretty solid place to start, and probably I would say I think it's called Green Arrow Quiver, and it starts. Kevin Smith is writing it, and then Brad Metzger, who's a novelist, takes over. That is a really fun series, and that's a pretty good place to start.
Okay.
Green Arrow had been dead in comics continuity for a long time, and then he came back, and so it's kind of a fresh start all around. So that's pretty good. There was one. It's the one I sent you in Discord called Plain Jane and the Mermaid, which is I would probably say a J-level graphic novel, so a junior, aimed at maybe 12-year-olds. I think this one, I can't remember if it was a Hugo or the Eisner, not Hugo, the Harvey or the Eisner. I can't remember. It won something. And it's good. I like it.
It looked fun.
I think you should read
That's Vera
it.
Brosgol, right? Because everything
Yes.
I've read by her has been absolutely great.
Okay. So then, yeah. Why are you sleeping on this one?
Well, I don't know. I just didn't know about it.
It's Tolstoy and cleaning, probably.
I know. Yeah, Tolstoy and cleaning.
Yeah.
That's just going to be my excuse for everything for the next
it's a good one.
couple of
It
months,
is a good
I
one.
think.
Yeah. That's it for me in books.
Okay. What about other things? Movies?
Sure. I did watch a lot of movies. My pal Steve and I do this podcast, and we've been doing a lot of like vintage cartoons based on other things. He's a Rambo fan, and so he wanted to do the Rambo cartoon. And I was like, I don't know anything about Rambo. I've never seen any of the movies. I don't know anything. And so he was like, oh, you can't start with the cartoon. So I watched First Blood parts 1 and 2. Do you know Rambo at all?
No. I know like Rambo as like a term, but that's all.
Okay.
That's all I've got.
Well, it's Sylvester Stallone, and the first one is based on a novel from the 70s, and it is really not what I expected, because it's really, he goes back to town like post-Vietnam War, and this is kind of before I think we were using the term PTSD, but that's certainly what this movie is about. He goes to this place to find a friend of his, like kind of the only connection he had left, and that person had died, that's the prologue, so this is not a spoiler. And then he's just kind of in this town, and local law enforcement is like, well, we don't want you here. And he's like, well, I'm a person, and I have to be somewhere.
Yeah.
And so they kind of trump up charges on him, and he ends up in jail. And then from there, things escalate. The later movies are known for him just being sort of basically like an action hero, where he's just going in and he's going to Rambo everything. But this was really like kind of a quiet, contemplative movie about how soldiers are treated and what PTSD does to people and failures of society. It was really interesting and not at all what I was expecting.
No, I feel like that's not what I would expect either, but it does sound cool.
But by the time you get to First Blood Part 2, it's like, okay, Rambo, we have an impossible situation. We want to drop you into the middle of this, and you just got to one man take out everybody. And the movies get progressively more like that. But all that to say, First Blood is a pretty good watch.
I just need to say, though, for the record, that First Blood sounds like a horny vampire romance. It just does.
Yeah.
It just does. There's just like certain titles. It's like if they have blood and like certain other like kind of keywords that sound a little like mysterious almost, that's just like...
No, you're right.
That's instantly what I associate with.
Yeah.
I've seen too many of those like YA books.
It is a direct line in the movie where he's like, there's a face-off, and they're basically like, you got to give this up, and Rambo's like, they drew First Blood.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
That's where it comes from. And then he turns into a horny vampire, and so it's kind of a twist.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't mean to give it away.
I couldn't have seen that coming.
So I watched those. I watched the Minecraft movie, which I had never seen before, and I was angry about it. I didn't want to watch it, but I put it off too much.
I understand.
And so we checked it out, and it was weirdly funny.
Okay.
Like Momoa and Jack Black really are matching each other's energy, and it was just it was a fun time. And I can't remember her name, but who plays Enid in
Emma
Wednesday?
Myers.
There you go. Is also fun in it. So it's just all around. I was not expecting A, to enjoy it, B, for it to work, and C, I guess they just took this big swing, and it was not what you would think, or not what I would think a Minecraft movie would be, but I thought it worked well, and I had a good time watching it.
Wow. Well, I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I haven't, but nothing that I've heard about it until this conversation has been positive. So.
Yeah. Well, I think if you're just like, playing Minecraft and you watch this movie, you'd be like, what the heck is this? So,
that's fair. I am like curious about it, semi-morbidly curious.
Yeah.
So eventually I might watch it, but I am also like, I don't know. I feel like this is going to be like a watch while I knit kind of situation. Yeah. Like, I don't know how invested I'm
going to go out on a limb and say that I think you would enjoy it.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to report back even when I get to it.
I watched The American President with Michael Douglas and Annette Bening. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. So it sort of was a dual like tribute to Rob Reiner, and also I just love that movie. And we watched it, and it holds up, and it's just a great movie. A little depressing to watch in this current political climate,
that's
but
fair.
it's great.
But I love it when you rewatch a classic movie and it just absolutely holds up. Like sometimes that's not the case, you know.
I had no doubts.
But sometimes you're like, yeah, no, I haven't. But I feel like we've talked about it before.
I'm sure we have. We should watch it.
Oh, okay. Maybe I will.
The last movie, not the last movie I watched, but the last movie I'm going to tell you about is called Bad Times at the Royale. I got this from my wife as a stocking stuffer, and we watched it. And I mean, it's a stacked cast. Cynthia Erivo is in it, John Hamm, Dakota Johnson, Jeff Bridges. You know, it's just a cool movie about all these people sort of winding up at this hotel that has some faded glory to it. And there is a prologue that implies that there is money hidden somewhere in the hotel, and you don't really know who's there for what. And as people's goals and backstories come out, it becomes more complex, and it was fun.
Nice.
So I liked it.
Fun.
I also think you'd like that. What about you? What are you watching?
I only watched 2 movies that I can remember that I watched.
That's one more than I was expecting.
Well,
so
yeah. I watched The Search for Spock with my family, having seen The Wrath of Khan semi-recently. And I enjoyed it. There were definitely some things that I was like, that's weird. But, I mean, that's what I expected. Yeah. But, yeah, definitely a good time. Went some interesting places. Went some places that I expected. Went some places that I did not expect.
Far.
I think it's likely that we'll probably watch more of the movies.
You got to watch The Voyage Home at this point. You have to watch Star Trek 4.
Yeah, no, I think it's
You're legally required to.
Yeah, I signed a contract.
Yeah.
We also watched Spirited Away, which I had never seen before. I thought that maybe I had seen part of it.
That's Miyazaki, right?
Yeah, but I hadn't. It was
I'm
definitely
so
the first
familiar
time.
with that cover that I don't know if I've watched it or not.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt as well. And like, there's certain like elements to those movies that I like. They're kind of consistent, like goopy guys and stuff like that are sort of consistent.
Ooh, okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not as gross as it sounds.
Well,
maybe it is. Maybe
gross,
it is.
so.
I don't know. So like, I felt like maybe I'd seen it, and then we were watching it, and I was like, no, definitely. I like assembled parts of the other ones in my head and thought that I'd maybe seen part of this.
Okay.
But I mean, it was really good. I had a great time. Like I don't think there's a single one of his movies that I haven't enjoyed. They always surprise me, but they always deliver.
Yeah. Look, I hate to kill the momentum, but I don't think I asked you enough about Search for Spock. Did you like it?
I did like Search for Spock.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Because that's one that's not particularly held up as one of the best, but it's one of my favorites to watch. I see great performance from William Shatner in that movie.
Yeah.
I really like it. And as like a middle to that trilogy of, Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, Voyage Home, I just think it's great.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it's interesting because I feel like as we've been watching these, it's like I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. And maybe I already said this. I can't remember. I feel like Shatner is better in these than what I remember from like the original series.
People make fun of Shatner's acting, and I don't know. I think it's particularly in those movies, you can really see what he's doing with that character.
Yeah. So. No, I think it's been really interesting and good. And also, I don't know. It felt very, very queer coded to me. Like the whole like Spock and Kirk relationship.
Well, yeah.
And the stuff where it's like, oh no, my son is dead, but at least my boyfriend is alive.
Yeah, right,
like that was very much the energy.
Right, yeah.
So I kind of enjoyed that. I assume unintentional, like just vibes. I thought that was kind of funny.
Probably unintentional, but certainly that is a thing that's out there. So
yeah, well, I was talking to Caleb about it. And he was like, there was a reason why like there was like so much like basically Kirk and Spock fan fiction that like semi kept the the franchise alive.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no, I'm starting to really see why.
You can see it.
It makes sense.
Yep.
It makes sense to me.
Yep, that makes sense. And also Miyazaki's cool. So
also Miyazaki is
to
cool.
bring things full circle.
Very different vibes though.
Different.
Different
it is
vibes.
different. Yep.
How about shows?
Okay. Well, I finished a few retro things. I've been watching through The Fifth Doctor, and we finished season 2 of his run, 2 out of 3. And it was a good time. And the third season of his run is not well... Like there are random episodes on DVD, and a couple of them are streaming here and there. It's not released as like a season on physical media, so now I kind of gotta wait until the next season comes out because I'm having a good time with that era. And then my friend Kendra and I have been watching through Beverly Hills 90210 together for a long time. I think we decided it's been 7 years, and we just finished season 9 of the show.
Wow,
it's the penultimate season.
That's wow,
and it's pretty decent. It's a lot of things change, a lot of characters like move on, and some people are added. It's a transitional year, and it's the penultimate year. And yeah, we both liked it a lot better than we liked season 8, so that was fun. And then I'm currently doing a New Girl rewatch, which is I love that show, and I haven't really ever rewatched it like this, so that's been fun. And I'm loving Starfleet Academy.
Yes.
Bringing back the Star Trek. I wasn't expecting to because Discovery was very whatever for me, especially that last season. But this has been a lot of fun. I'm only 2 episodes in at this point, but it's off to a strong start, and I'm excited to watch it.
I've heard really good things about it, but I've also been told that I should probably watch Discovery.
I don't feel that way.
Okay.
I don't feel that way. My in-laws were asking that, and my wife and I were both like, nah. They
do what you want. I mean, I watched just the 3rd season of Picard without the first 2. So, I mean,
the things that carry over from Discovery, they talk about, and I think that's all you need to know.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
The Federation was dead for a while, and now they're trying to bring it back. The end.
Okay. So, makes sense.
Yep.
Sounds like a lot to unpack, but I can just roll with it.
Yeah. So what are you watching?
Shows-wise, I have not been watching that much. We did watch the Stranger Things finale.
Oh, okay.
And I mostly liked it. There were a couple of things that I was like, about.
I don't think that Jess and I were just talking about this down at the front desk, and she was pretty happy with it, but she felt like there was a lot of loose threads.
Definitely there was some stuff that it's like, like we just didn't address the fact that like we haven't seen that character's girlfriend or like talked about them. Like, are they still together?
That's what
Jess
said as well. Yeah.
There's like a couple instances of that actually where we're like, did all of these characters just break up off screen? Like we just want to know.
I will eventually get to this, but my enthusiasm has just waned over the last decade.
I understand. That's acceptable.
But I'm glad I did it for you.
I think it's funny though that there's been like mega conspiracies about this last season and people being like, there's going to be a secret extra episode and like, like all the things that we thought were true are wrong and like. I don't know. I mean, I have not bought into any of the conspiracies, but I've enjoyed seeing the sheer chaos descending with people's reactions to this.
I get that.
I don't know. A lot of people are really unhappy with it, and I just don't understand why.
Yeah, well, I mean, you build up so many things that you specifically want.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like, definitely, again, there's like a few things that I was like, about. But like overall, I was like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you guys are seeing, but...
Yep.
Whatever. We also rewatched Hawkeye over the Christmas season.
Oh, right. Okay.
I can't remember if I said that last time or not. I don't remember the last
you
time
told
we
me.
talked.
I don't know if we talked about it here, but yeah, Hawkeye's a
I
good
rewatched
time.
Hawkeye, and I mean, it's just a blast.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Character dynamics.
It is fun.
Everything. So good. But that's all I've seen shows-wise for like a long time.
All right. I went to a Sabres game.
That's cool.
Hockey was fun.
That's cool.
It was a very last-minute thing. My brother-in-law had some extra tickets, and he's like, get in, losers. We're going to the Sabres. So
I think hockey is kind of in a mind-blowing sport because it's like not only are you ice skating, you're like also like playing soccer but with a stick. Like that's crazy to me.
The threat of death is real.
No,
the whole
like
time.
honestly,
so
I would be so stressed out.
So many sticks during that game.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the Sabres did lose in overtime to Minnesota.
Did they break sticks like? As in, like, they were, like, whacking the puck and
just,
the sticks broke?
Just
or were they, like,
play.
smashing
No, it wasn't,
it against the ice?
No.
Because I've seen stuff, like, I've seen clips where people are just, like, doing that with their, like, and I'm like, all right.
No, I think
that's
it
one
was
way
just
to
in the course of play, but it happened
your anger,
a lot.
I guess.
So,
that's really
I got a pretzel. It was delicious.
Nice. I've been thinking I need to figure out a way to make gluten-free soft pretzels. I have a bagel recipe that I think I could adapt.
Okay. All right.
I don't think it would
I wish you all the best in that endeavor.
I'm confident that I can at make something
I
similar.
do not share your confidence, but for your sake, I hope.
Don't believe in me.
I hope. No, it's not you. It's I don't believe in the gluten-free world.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that it
understand
exists.
I
just don't know that.
I see. My biggest beef with the gluten-free world.
I'm a vegetarian, so I don't.
Is okay. That's actually another beef. Is that people don't understand the differences between different food restrictions. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You're like, I'm vegetarian, and they're like, okay, I'll bring you a plate of like zucchini noodles. Yeah. And I'm like, well, that doesn't mean, I mean, I can't eat the pasta, but like you can. You know what I mean? Like these are totally different things.
Yeah.
So like that's annoying. But the other biggest beef I have with the gluten-free world, there's no good bread, okay? There's there's good crackers, there's good-ish bagels, there's okay tortillas, but like there's pretty good pasta.
Yeah.
But it's like all of the bread I've had, I'm just like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Like what are we doing?
That's the key ingredient, I think.
Yeah.
So
probably.
It's like I can't find any good apple-free applesauce. It just doesn't.
Yeah, I guess.
Translate, and I feel sorry for you.
But it's like I don't know. I feel like some of the ones I've had, the texture is fine, but the taste is just horrible. And I'm like, surely we could do something about the taste.
Yeah.
Like if we have the texture down, surely we could make this gluten-free bread not taste like
texture
cardboard.
is the hardest part. So
I would
if you got that nailed down.
I don't understand it at all. But
who knows?
I don't feel sick every day, so I'm taking the win.
Yeah, I think you have to. For sure.
Okay, what have we not talked about? Do you have any music you've been listening to?
Not really. Vampire Weekend, I guess, has been higher in my rotation lately. How about you?
I've been listening to some Stacey Kent and some Joe, which is spelled D-J-O, but it's just Joe because it's Joe Keery who plays Steve Harrington.
Yeah. Actually, I have heard some of that because my brother's a big fan, and he sent me a few. He was like, this one is so McCartney-coded, and I listened, and he was right.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I, didn't know that those two people were the same until, a couple months ago.
Clark Kent Superman scenario.
Yes. Well, and it's I don't know. I had just heard one of the songs, and I had no reason to think that D-J-O would be,
Yeah.
anyone that I knew anything about.
Right.
And I was like, this is a great song. And then I saw something online about whatever, Joe Keery and his music, whatever, something about the song. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
What a twist.
It was an interesting revelation
twist.
for me.
Yeah.
You got other stuff going on in your life?
I don't think so. I'm in a play right now, so that's taking up a lot of my time. And,
Makes sense.
Other than that, starting the new year, you know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Can't believe it's 2026.
I know. But I'm going to start it by reading Anna Karenina, so.
I mean, yeah.
Strong start.
It feels like a good way to start the year.
Yeah, I think so. It makes me seem smart.
Yeah, exactly. It's
literate.
It was almost like our New Year's resolution was to read a big Russian novel.
And we're going to do it.
But yeah, we're doing
going to do it. I definitely am. Will you get there? We'll see.
I believe in myself.
Okay.
I feel confident.
All right.
Misplaced confidence, maybe, but we'll find out.
Well, you got to start somewhere,
All right. Well, we'll see you in 2 weeks to talk about whether I succeeded and what we think about it.
That's right. Anna Karenina.
Anna Karenina.
See you then.
See you then.